Hey there, action figure fans. Today we're taking a look at some dime novel legends. This happens to be specifically Series 1, Wave 2. And yes, these have been out for a little while, and so why I'm deciding to talk and cover these today is I was looking at the Chicken Fried Toys website, and it looked like some of the numbers on these characters were getting kind of low. Several of them, I believe, are even less than 100 left, which I would say is not very many when the print run is, 2,000 or 3,000. So some of these are getting close to being out. So I thought, well, let's take a look at these because maybe somebody out there is interested in these figures, and you might not realize that some of these are getting close to being sold out. So using my lovely pointing X-Acto knife from left to right, we have the Derelict over here, Outlaw Rider back there, Pistolero right there, Ranahan is practically in the middle, then we've got the Shootist, and finally the Town Tamer. And I kind of like to think inwardly that this is like the coats wave, because we've been treated to a whole bunch of new types of coats, at least not ones that I have seen on figures previous to this. I really like some of these things on here, these coats, and like, well, we're going to just start knocking some cowboys over. Let's get him back on his stand. And, well, that was a wonderful start to all this, so let's get him back up. So let's take a peek here. I guess we'll just go left to right and look more at the Derelict, and I'll bring him front and center. So as you can see, he's on a figure stand. Just real quick, they all have figure stands, so I'm not going to talk about that much. But he's got a really nice looking rifle there that he's holding. Over here on his right hip, he does have a gun. There you go. It looks like some sort of a 6-shooter or revolver. I've told you before, I don't know a lot about guns. He's very stylish. His hat matches his beard, so that's pretty cool. He's got this nice gray hat with a black band around it. Let's take this out of his hand right there. We'll set the rifle off to the side. The jacket does have a peg and a hole, so you could, or it's not a jacket, sorry, my bad, it's a vest. You could take this vest off if you wanted to. I don't really want to. I'm just kind of showing you that you can take that off. And then he's got this lovely deep, what is this, like a deep red or a purple shirt. So you could take this vest off, and then he's got a whole nother look under there to him. He looks pretty cool. I'm really digging that beard mustache combination right there. I think that's pretty nice. And he's got some cool tan pants here. This is one of the few figures of this group that has a holster that you can actually slide back and forth on the belt. A lot of them, I'll show you in a minute what the other ones have. But there we've got Derelict right there, and we'll set him back off to the side and put his rifle over there. Next, we're going to take a look at the Outlaw Rider. I believe this is one of the figures that is below 100 remaining. So here we go. He's got 2 pistols. Let's lift his arm up there. So he's got holsters for both of the pistols. That's what the pistol, I say pistol, I mean the handgun. Let's call it a handgun because I'm not sure what that is. If that's a revolver or we're just going to say handgun from here on out because I already sound silly trying to figure out what they are. So, but there's his handgun. He's got this kind of a lightish color hat. Now, one thing about this figure I was noticing is the hat is really loose on this figure. So if I put the hat on, well, of course, every time I try this, there we go. I had to shake it. But generally speaking, it looks like a pretty loose hat there. And the reason why I point that out, let's bring Derelict back. See, I can't really make... Wow, I'm like blocking all the light here. I can't really make that hat move, whereas just a very gentle tap, and it moves around and falls off. So I don't know if all the figures are like that. That's kind of disappointing that this one ended up, because I've got to say, even though we're early in the video, this just might be my favorite figure of all of them. And no, it's not just because he's an outlaw or he's like a gunfighter or something. I really like this color combination. One thing I'm going to mention that I think would be really interesting, and I don't know what level of cost this would add to these figures, because these figures I believe are about $32. One thing I think would be really interesting is if you take off this coat, like I said, they have pegs, like you can unpeg the coat, you can open it up, and there is his shirt. If you take off this coat, then you are still left with upper dark brown coat-looking upper arms. You can even see how it hangs down there. And then shirt lower arms. I think it'd be pretty cool if the figures came with swappable upper arms. So if you wanted to take the coat off and give him just a shirt look, you could take off the arms and swap it out and everything. But like I said, I'm not sure what that would entail for cost. I just think that would be cool, as someone who could change things around and take the coat off, and I think that'd be kind of fun. I know you could always pop off the head and put it onto another body, and you probably get that same result, but I don't know. It just seems like that'd be cool. Add like, what, a couple bucks to it? I don't know. Round this up to like 35. I know everyone just collectively moaned out there who might be interested, like, you want to make these things cost more? I don't know. I just, Anyway, so these holsters are not on a belt system. It's probably because I was just noticing because of it's wrapped around a coat. And I think I see why that they've done it this way. But it looks like it's on a peg and hole because the holster moves back and forth quite a bit. So I don't know if these can pop off. I don't think I really want to try. Oh, yeah, it looks like you could. Looks like the peg is sticking through the coat there. So you could probably pop these off. If you wanted to, you could probably swap it out with a darker color. Now, I've spent so much time on that guy, and we don't have any time for anybody else. So, no, just kidding. Here we have Pistolero, and I like this guy too. This would probably be my second favorite of all of them. Again, because of the coloring. He's got this really cool, instead of he does have a coat. He actually has like a vest here, which is kind of separating. I think he had way too much dinner last night. But he's got this thing, and I don't know, is that a poncho? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a fashion guy. I don't really know a lot about clothes. I just buy something that I like, and I wear it, and off we go. So I don't know if that's like just a cover or something. This is made of, I would say, a harder plastic, not like hard plastic, medium to hard, so it's not real flexible. So if you want to get some more full range of motion, you're going to have to pop off that head, take that thing off, pop his head back on. And of course, all cowboys need their hats, so we gotta pop the, whoa, stay up there, dude. Pop the head back, or the hat back on, and that's what he looks like without it. But this kind of makes him, this kind of really adds his level of coolness there. So, but they all have spurs. I don't know if I'd mentioned that. I don't think I did. But they all have some spurs, which are really cool. I like it. What do they have? This guy's got silver, this one's got gold, and this one's got silver there. So the other thing I did notice is there are two different colors of figure stands. You have like this this color and like a light gray. So that's kind of neat, like a sandy color. Yeah, I like this guy. I think this could be pretty cool. He's got a belt that allows for you to move the holster, slide it around back and forth on the belt. He's also got some light colored boots. So I think that's pretty cool. We're messing all these guys up. It was looking so nice and purty, wasn't it, at the beginning? Now I'm just like throwing things every which way. Set this off to the side. Now we have Ranahan. And he's a very, I would say, compared to all of the figures here, this one's a little bit more plain in that he's got no coat and he's got no vest. Like, he's got long sleeve shirt on, but like, he's going to get cold on those, long cowboy nights. Cowboy nights. He's got his belt on. He's got a scarf on. Now, this actually allows me to show you, because I've shown you, but I'll show you again, this part of the back. Since they're all wearing coats, you can't see this. But there is a little peg right there. I'm not going to pull it out. That you could pop out, and I believe has the screw underneath there. He's got something interesting I don't think I've seen before, and that is a cross draw holster right here on his left ankle, his left side over here. And so it's kind of at an angle, not ankle, but angle. So like, I don't think I can really get him in that position, but like, you pull it from, use your right hand to pull it from the left holster. So I think that's kind of neat. He's got a more, what you might classify as like a traditional cowboy hat with the indentations in the top there. But, there's a lot of different styles of hats that can be happening that are cool. I'm just looking at this guy as I talk. He's got silver spurs down there. Oh, and he's got a knife. So he's got like a really cool looking, like, look at this detail here. How close can I get to that? Like, the detail on this is such, can we do it? Yeah, there we go. Is such that the little dots are painted. The little bolts or whatever it is that holds this knife together are painted. And this is the one thing I'll never get over about this line, is just that level of detail. Like, this is one piece of plastic I'm looking at. It's not like there's a silver piece in between brown and these really truly are built that way. These are really tiny painted holes. Just that level of detail. The attempt at the realism in a 4-inch, well, I was going to say 4-inch scale, but 1/18 scale, 4-inch figure is just, it's really awesome to me. That's why I really like this. It's just that attention, the love that I see in this line, the passion. Even here, you see these little dots that are holding the sheath together are painted. Sorry, sometimes I stop talking because I'm looking at this, and I'm just like, I'm in awe. I really am. While I like a bunch of the 4-inch action figure lines out there, I will tell you probably none of them can compare to these dime novel legends. Even the little dots on his button, the dots for the buttons on his shirt are painted. And for the most part, it's really clean. It's not like there's a lot of overpaint. I mean, there's some here and there. You're going to get that. I'm even just kind of, as I'm moving this around, the buckles on his suspenders kind of have a bit of a bronze glint to it. That's kind of neat. Just little things you notice when you're really looking at these figures. And, you know, that's what I love. When I see passion, when I see love, man, that is just so cool. And it makes me want to love them too. I don't know, maybe I'm a weirdo for that one. He's got a little side pouch over here. He can slide around as well. All right, let's move on to the next dude, and that is this one right here. Check out that stash. Look at that mustache. Sorry, this is Shootist, by the way. So I'm guessing because he's a Shootist, he's really good at shooting things. I like his stash, and I like his... Do we call them ascots, or do we call them scarves? What do we call these? The handkerchiefs? There's a lot of things you could call them, but is there an official name? If you know, let me know. He doesn't have a belt that wraps around this coat, so his holsters are pegged into the coat and can wobble and move around a little bit. And again, you can unattach, open up the coat because it's on a peg hole system, and open it up. And again, I'll say one more time, it'd be cool to have like replaceable upper arms. So if you take the coat off, you could swap out those upper arms to make it look like the coat. This guy is really cool. I like him. I like the look on his face. Let's bring this one closer. I just like... And I dropped his gun. No, I mean, he dropped his gun. I just like the look of the face. I think that's cool. It's a very character. He's a character, right? Otherwise, he's got no spurs. This guy's got no spurs, and he's not real. He's got plain grayish brown pants, which is fine. He's got these two guns. I haven't really been showing off these too much. These ones are a little bit different. So let's see if we can get these closer. That might be about as close as we need. A light color handle. Oh, it's having a tough time. And a gold trigger. Yeah, we'll let it get happy and get back to where it was. But these are a little bit different gun, kind of cool looking. I think I will leave it on the floor. He's got two of them. And that's one thing I really appreciate about this is, you know, accessories are fun, and getting lots of accessories are really cool for figures. And I know some of you just, you know, the more accessories, the better. I'm someone who likes appropriate accessories for figures. So, like, I'm not knocking Eagle Force or Fresh Monkey Fiction here, but, you know, I'm not going to use a ton of hands. Not really. I'm probably not going to do a whole lot with those figures to where I need a lot of hands, but it's really cool they send them. This, I don't have to worry about hands. You know, I get accessories that are appropriate. The guns, the hats, the figure stands, maybe a pouch, maybe a knife, you know, what's appropriate. It's really cool because again, it's the level of detail. It's the attention to detail, not the level, the attention. Okay, we're going to look at this guy close too because we got the detail. Let's see, get my knife here, up his arm. Like, look at this stuff right here on the right side of his coat. You got these straps coming down. I think there we go, about there, focused. These straps coming down, they're all painted, different colors in the coat. And unless you can see something while I'm zoomed in a little bit, or he's closer, I don't see a lot of overpaint. You got the silver buttons. I know, every time I talk about a dime novel Legends, I get into the detail. And funny thing is, I'm not really a detail person. I like figures. I just get them and I play with them and I do stuff. And for the most part, I don't really pay attention. But these, I think that's why detail stands out with these figures, is because you don't really see it with a lot of figures. And people don't that's why they cost a little bit more money, because he's putting money in for these paint apps. You know, the little silver for these tiny things that are insignificant. He could just leave this stuff one color. I'm sorry that all these videos, end up being, look at the detail, look at those little things. I'm that amazed and awed by it. It really is. I know, I need to quit talking about it sometime, but I want you to see it. I want you to experience. I'm hoping to help you experience what I'm experiencing. This excitement. Anyway, so let's get him back to that area right there. Did I say this guy's name? This is Town Tamer, by the way. I kind of like him too. The pants are just a little bit too light blue for me, because I like blue. I like his little yellow stripe down the side. It looks cavalry-like. He's got silver spurs on brown calf-high boots. I was going to say thigh-high, but I was like, no, those aren't thigh-high, calf-high boots. And again, you could open... Now, this guy kind of looks really funny if you were to take this coat off, because then he's got all one-color arm, completely different than his light brownish shirt. And so, I like his little scarf around his neck. The light blue matches his pants really well. And he also comes with 2 handguns. And now he's walking like an Egyptian or something. I don't know, back the song, whatever. But these guys are awesome. So, articulation-wise, I'm going to set him here. We're going to look at Ranahan, because I think this is the best figure to look at articulation. And these are all pretty standard. These are all standard. He doesn't do a whole lot of different things. He's got the rotate the arm around the shoulder. You can lift the arm at the shoulder up about that high. A single rotation and hinge at the elbow, 50 degrees, 90 degrees. What am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying today. Rotation at the wrist, as well as an up and down vertical hinge right there. There's nothing more at the torso. You've got the ball joint at the waist, and I think this works quite well. I think it works great. I think this is like the best successor to an O-ring that there is. The head is on a ball joint, so it rotates all the way around, looks up and looks down. And if you want him to sit, he sits really pretty good. These figures sit really well as long as there's no hindrance like coats. If you want to do the splits, well, cowboys did splits every day, right? So, we definitely need that. That's not a big deal. He's got double pin at the knee. He can spur his own rear end. And then the only thing down here at the ankle, which I find to be a little bit difficult and makes me wonder, is it worth it to put in, to pay for the added articulation of the boot? There is a bit of a rotation. Get that there? You can see that? A bit of a rotation. And there is a hinge. But typically, I can't ever get the hinge to work. And I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just thinking, maybe save a little bit of money on articulate and just make this one piece. Make them like the old G.I. Joe figures, because if it doesn't really do a whole lot anyway, I don't know, maybe you might want to rotate his feet out. At that point, maybe just make it some sort of a rotation. Just get rid of that ankle hinge, because I can't really use it anyway. I can't use it. But there we go. That is Series 1, Wave 2 figures, and let me do some quick height comparisons before we wrap this thing up. Stay, man, stay. So here's an Eagle Force figure. We have blue hidden, so you can see that these guys are just a little bit taller. Then we're knocking other figures over while I bring out the Wolf Trooper from Skeletron. And it's like, you know, from short to height, right? Let's move these guys a little bit off to the side so you can see a little bit better. Yeah, we'll just throw them around. And let's move over to a boss fight. So we got the king. The king is here. And we have a boss fight female, knocking the camera around. There we go. So there's a boss fight female. Was this like a red orc? Something. And next, we've got a Fortnite figure. So about the same height as Fortnite. Obviously, though, Fortnite looks a lot more cartoonish than these cowboys. These cowboys look realistically great. And then modern era style G.I. Joe figures, male and female, Sergeant Stone, Agent Helix, because we like those ranks apparently, and you can see the difference there. So these figures fit right in real well with just about any other 4-inch figure out there. I'll bring the rest of them in. Oh yeah, look at that. I was getting him to stand without his figure stand. That's cool. Let's get these all in here so you can see them all one more time. One last time. Looks like there's been a fight here. You know, there's a rifle lane, there's a hat lane here, there's a figure stand, and you got this thing here is just like pieces all over the place. Anyway, here's a one last look at the Dime Novel Legends Series 1 Wave 2 action figures. And like I said, there's a couple of these guys. I'm pretty sure this guy is less than 100 remaining. And I think it's one of these two guys that might even be less than 50. And then the others are really close to 100. And out of the 2,000 to 3,000 print run, when they're gone, they're going to be gone. And then you're going to be searching on eBay if you decide one day, hey, I really like the looks of these figures. And trust me, I'm having to do that with, there's like 2 figures I'm searching eBay for. And when I see them, they're usually 150 or higher. So yeah, if there's a figure here that is interesting you, get over to the Chicken Fried Toys website and take a look. These are really cool. They're a lot of fun. You gotta love the passion. You gotta love the love. I'll see you in the next video.